Raider Nation, it's game day. I'm Mitchell Renz, host of the Raiders Report. And coming up here on today's show, we got the top 10 players on offense and defense to watch today against the Minnesota Vikings. If you know somebody out there that goes, dude, it's only a preseason game, I don't give a shit. I bleed silver and black 365. It's in the name for a reason. And these are the players that I'm excited to watch today on both sides of the football, because this might be the only opportunity for a lot of players that they get to put on a helmet, that they get that opportunity to rock the silver and black. So when you go out there, don't play with the vanilla defense. Go out there and play your freaking heart out, clanging and banging for AP, and make sure that you're representing Raider Nation proud. So the Raiders and Vikings, both very interesting game, and the reason why, a lot of quarterback competition, which I said, since there's a lot of quarterback competition, and the one QB that always gets brought up when I talk about Aidan O'Connell is Rich Gannon. So you know what, Chuggs? We're going to give away a signed Rich Gannon helmet today, Saturday, when the Raiders and Vikings tune in. If you're not subscribed, you got a 0% chance to win a signed Rich Gannon helmet. If you want to pull up, have a good time, I guarantee you this, we're going to get over 100,000 people today. We're going to get a ton of Raider fans here. If you miss party in Oakland style, if you can't make it out to the game in Minnesota and you want to rock with Raider Nation, I'm going to bring the energy. The question is, are y'all going to match it with me? Let's go here. We're going to go from 10 all the way down to 1, and these are the top 10 players on offense, and then I will go to the defensive side of the football of the top 10 players that the nation should watch. At number 10, I got DJ Turner at receiver. I want to see how they use him. He's a lock to make this roster and has done a really good job being able to separate himself from some of these other, we'll call them UDFA first-year receivers. Turner, I want to see how he works with Minshew, and I also want to see how he works with Aidan O'Connell. Let's go to offensive tackle here, Thayer Munford, and one of the best battles in this game here is going to be between Munford and it's going to be between DJ Glaze. Spoiler alert, Glaze is going to be coming up here on this show a little bit. But I still want to see what Munford does. I'm actually also curious to see if they use him at any other positions. I'm a believer where if your offensive line has to rely on Cody Whitehair to be your starting left guard, I would be more comfortable you kicking Thayer Munford over to the left side, letting DJ Glaze, the kid that you drafted in the 3rd round, let him test it out in the preseason a little bit. Let's see what you got in him. But I'm going to be looking at Thayer Munford as a right tackle, and I want to see if they use him anywhere else on that offensive line. Let's go to number 8 here. It's Michael Mayer, and a lot of attention going to be around Brock Bowers, no doubt about it. But Mayer also deserves his love. He was listed as a starter in that 12 personnel in the depth chart when the Raiders just released it. He's lost a little bit of weight, and I don't think people understand how actually talented Mayer is. Being a first-year tight end in the NFL is extremely tough. When your head coach is Josh McDaniels, it's probably a little bit more difficult. When you go through literally a coaching change halfway through the season, probably makes it even more difficult. And this is going to be his first offseason that he's not surrounded by a bunch of other BS. He can concentrate on doing his thing. He's a lot more motivated, and I just can't wait to see how much better he looks, because based off of the things that I've already seen and I've heard, he is clearly, and I mean clearly, in much better shape and motivated this season. Let's go to number 7 here. It's Tre Tucker. I know Tucker is an unbelievable athlete. I want to see how they use him on special teams and on the offense. A lot of pre-snap motion is one of the things that I'm hoping that Luke Getsy's able to implement. And I know it's preseason. I know that we might not show everything, but I do want to see Tre Tucker do a little bit pre-snap motion. And then, if he gets his opportunities, does he come down with it? Early on last season, remember, he struggled with a little bit of drop issues, but then as the season went on and on, especially those final 4 weeks, he got a little bit of that confidence. When Tucker's a confident player, I would not want to go up against him, because in a phone booth, I'm not putting a hand on him. Neither are y'all. But when he doesn't have that confidence, it does shake up a little bit. Ramel Keyton is going to come in here at number 6, and this is somebody that I had making my 53-man roster. This is a player that has really impressed a lot of coaches out there, and is somebody that AP has wanted to see a little bit more of. He has taken advantage of Davante Adams being away. He took advantage of Jalen Guyton being away on PUP list. Now, all those players are back, minus Davante at the time I'm recording this. I still don't have an update on whether or not he's had his 3rd child yet, his baby boy. But for a player like Keyton as a UDFA, if you really go out there and you show up in training camp, you show up in the scrimmage like he's done this past week, and then you go out there and you do it on game day, that's where I'm going to look at all y'all and I go, you know what? He's doing it there, he's doing it there, he's doing it here. Yeah, he might be the real deal. So tell me down below, and it's going to be the pinned comment here on today's show, which Raiders player are you most excited to watch today? There's got to be one. Are you going to go with the chalk answer? Gardner Minshew Aidan O'Connell. Are you going to go with a rookie? Are you going to go with a player that we signed? Or are you just going to go with somebody that you love watching that guy play football? Which Raiders player are you most excited to watch today? My answer, I'm actually most excited to watch Antonio Pierce. Let's go to number 5 here. I'm going to go with DJ Glaze. It is an elite name, and I'll tell you what, he continues to get starting reps there at right tackle, and I want to know how the Raiders use him. Do they use him with the ones? Do they implement him with only Dylan Parham at right guard? How does he handle going up against another team? How does he handle going up against Brian Flores, who historically has brought a lot of blitzes? I believe Minnesota last season led the NFL in blitz rate. So for a young rookie that I had him listed as an offensive guard, DJ, I know you watch the show. I'm going to message you probably after the show and after the game. But I want to know, like, when you hear somebody say, I don't know if you could play offensive tackle, do you carry that chip on your shoulder because you've been impressing a lot of coaches? How do you do it against somebody else? I can't wait to see the young rookie get it done. Let's go to number 4 here. It's Dylan Laube. If there's been hype around any Raiders player this offseason, it has probably been Laube. I mean, New Hampshire running back, the only back in his entire conference drafted into the NFL. AP has said that the talent is translated, but you've also heard, the other side of it. Vic Tafur has said that, Amir Abdullah is still the RB3, and they were just trying to get a little bit more work out of Laube. Is the hype real? What does it look like? And I need to see how the Raiders try to go out there and use him. Speaking of using him, I want to see Brock Bowers line up in a bunch of different ways, and maybe you don't expose everything that you're going to do in the preseason, but this is a player that I anticipate lines up just about every single place on our offense, maybe outside of offensive line. And shit, I mean, he's going to be blocking, but he's going to line up as a fullback. He's going to line up as a receiver. You can line up as an X, Y. I don't care what letter of the alphabet it is. Brock Bowers can do it. But just to be able to go out there and watch him do his thing and just – I think when people look at Bowers, I'm going to say it's the Hunter Renfrow aspect where you look at Hunter Renfrow, you go, that guy can do my taxes. You look at Brock Bowers, you go, that guy can do my taxes. But when you watch him play football, you're like, that guy's the tight end in the NFL. And in fact, he's one of the best tight ends in the NFL. Let's go to number 2 here. I got Gardner Minshew. I'll tell you what, if there's anybody I'd like to sit down at Joel's Chop House with and maybe have a nice little dinner with, maybe some extracurriculars, it's Gardner Minshew. And he's definitely probably down to do it as well. When it comes to Minshew, though, it's not only Minshew. I'm going to put it right here. It's Aidan O'Connell, right? Like, Aidan is the number 1 player on the offensive side of the football. I am most excited to see. Gardner is number 2. And I think if any other Raider fan tells you otherwise, that's fine. I'm going to say that I don't know if I believe you. I need to be able to understand. Like, there's that old meme, and I bring up the meme a lot. It's like what your girlfriend thinks you're thinking about and what keeps you up late at night. These 2 guys are keeping me up late at night because I don't know who's going to be the starting quarterback of the team. And quite frankly, if I was a coach, I wouldn't tell you who's the starting quarterback of the team until we're about 2 days away from playing the Chargers because I don't want to tip my hand at all. But I have been driving myself nuts. Is the defense good or the Raiders quarterback's bad? Is Aidan good or Aidan then the next day struggles? It has been a roller coaster ride of emotion with this QB battle, and I just want to see how they look, who they're throwing to, and it's going to be fun to watch them on Saturday, no doubt about it. Also, Jeremy, something else that's been driving me nuts a little bit is recently, I looked the other day and I realized that we had 2 Netflix accounts. Yeah, Alex, I know you're watching. I know we only have 1 now, but we had 2, and I don't know how long we had 2 Netflix accounts. My point is this. If you need to be able to cancel some unnecessary subscriptions, Rocket Money is for you. If you're somebody that wants to be able to manage your budget, check your credit score, guess what? They can also lower bills for you. That's why I love Rocket Money, and I love everything that they're able to do here for the Raiders Report and for the entire nation. So with Rocket Money, I got full control over my subscriptions and a clear view of all of my expenses. I can see all of my subscriptions in one place, and if I see something I don't want, Rocket Money can help me cancel it with just a few taps. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills that you can grow your savings. So, nation, stop wasting money on things that you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/LV Raiders. That's rocketmoney.com/LV Raiders. Rocket Money has helped over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's features. So, I think the other thing I'll always tell people is, genuinely, how many subscriptions do you have? You know how many you have? I had no idea. I had double the amount of subscriptions that I had. And the reason why that's important is because you don't realize sometimes how much money you actually spend on something until it's literally listed out in front of you. It's an unbelievable app. It will help you save money. That I can promise you. It has helped me save quite a bit. RocketMoney.com/LV Raiders. Let's go to the defensive side of the football. Jack Jones coming in here at number 10. And Jones is one of the most intriguing players here. And I say that because are they going to use him as a kick returner? Are they going to use him as a punt returner? Is he going to be kicking the football off with these new kickoff rules? They've been using him that way from time to time at practice. We know that he's a good corner. Is he ready to be a great corner? How does he look? I want to see the swagger. Jack Jones is probably the swaggiest guy we got on our team right now, and I want to see him bring it, man. Let's go to number 9 here. I got Charles Snowden. He's fighting for that 53-man roster spot. He is a training camp winner. He's been a player that is impressing. He also has some connections with some of our coaches out there. So is Snowden able to use some of that big body athletic build? Is it really helping him being able to work with some of these players for an entire 365 days? Snowden battling for a spot. Really, really pulling for him. Let's go to a rookie. Drafted him in the 7th round out of Pitt. MJ Devonshire right now is listed behind Nate Hobbs as the second slot corner. He's a really athletic player. It's still a little bit raw, but I like these type of guys because I trust AP and I trust Patrick Graham. I trust Ricky Manning, one of the best, I think, young and up-and-coming cornerback coaches in the league. I trust Gerald Alexander, our safeties coach, which is why I'm also excited to see how Trey Taylor plays this upcoming game because Taylor, the Jim Thorpe Award winner out of Air Force, he was somebody that had a little bit of, Kermit the Frog issue, maybe got a frog in his throat. I don't know what it was, but I also don't mind it. I don't love it, but at the same time, I don't want people to only think about Trey Taylor as Kermit the Frog. Now, I think with a preseason game, you get that one rolling, and then you start going, all right, this kid's a really good football player. He's got a great head on his shoulders, going to be a leader in the NFL for quite some time. But, how does the Jim Thorpe Award winner look against some NFL talent? That's going to be a fun battle to watch. Let's go to number 6 here. I got Tommy Eichenberg, and it's another rookie, and believe it or not, I'm just excited to see a lot of these rookies play. How do they look in our brand new system? What does number 45 look like being able to react to plays? We know that he's not the most athletic linebacker. We've heard it time and time again. But then again, he just always finds himself around the football. Is he somebody that right away you can see shows some leadership? One of the things I look for in a middle linebacker is, are you able to just corral a bunch of guys and be that guy that we know that can potentially wear a green dot? Antonio Pierce, when he spoke about Eichenberg early on when he drafted him, said that could be a guy that could wear a green dot. Here's an opportunity to go out there and show us to see if it's going to happen. All right, y'all, which Raiders rookie are you most excited to watch on Saturday? Are you most excited to watch Brock Bowers? I don't think we're going to see Jackson Powers Johnson. DJ Glaze, Decamerion Richardson, Tommy Eichenberg, Dylan Laube, MJ Devonshire, or I guess any of the UDFAs out there as well. Which Raiders rookie are you most excited to watch on Saturday? Let me know down in the comments. The rookie that I'm most excited to watch is probably Brock Bowers, man. I'm excited to see him move around the football field. I think it's also just that part of I want one of our first-round picks to work out so damn bad that it's almost like killing me at this point. I want to see Bowers go out there and do his thing, but quite frankly, I want to see all of our rookies because I've heard a lot of good things about this rookie class. Also, I've heard a lot of good things about people pulling up and getting ready to hang out with Jeremy and I. If anybody wants to join a free watch party in North Carolina, chatsports.com/week1. Tons of prizes. Maybe some Raiders legends there. That's all I'm going to say. And also, you're going to be able to hang out with Jeremy Chuggs and I. You can see the event. That's what this video is right now. So this is called the Back Then Bar and Grill. It's an inside-outside area. Really fun environment for a game day experience. Tons of TVs, awesome food, great drink deals. And as you can see, that open bar there. There is a stage as well, which I believe is where Jeremy and I are going to be at. I think we're also close to the dartboard as well. Please don't hit me with the dart. But you're going to be able to hang out with us. We're going to be able to do all that fun stuff. Also, on top of the chatsports.com/week1 event, which again, it's free to come to. So if you want to pull up, if you want to win some prizes, the prizes are also going to be free. You literally just have to be there and have a pulse for a chance to win. On top of that, though, we're also going to be doing a Top Golf event, which is going to be on Saturday before. So if you're like, Mitch, I can only get out there Saturday. Hey, Top Golf, you can get your tickets, enter to win the raffle. Chatsports.com/topgolf is the link, and all those links and every link that you hear me talking about on today's show in the comments, in the description of today's show. Shout out to the North Carolina fans, Autumn Abyss, for bringing Chuggs and I out there. And if you guys pack the house, my goal is this. I want to be able to travel to more and more cities across the world and do watch parties for Raider Nation. It's something that I'm really passionate about, and I'm hopefully, if we pack this house, we can keep on doing it. Let's go to number 5 here. Isaiah Pola-Mao. And Isaiah Pola-Mao is a fun safety that continues to get better and better and better out of USC. Obviously has those connections with Troy Polamalu, which I'm almost kind of curious to see if that's been helping him out a little bit. But, like, you can see how versatile of a player he is. Put on a little bit of weight last season to play that safety linebacker hybrid role. And he's just going to be somebody that this defense is, they're going to use a lot. They're going to put him in different situations, and he's going to be a dude that I want to see line up in the box. He's going to be a guy I want to see line up as a linebacker, somebody that I want to see line up as an outside potential edge rusher. The versatility that he brings, it's one of the perfect guys, I think, for Patrick Graham. Coming in here at number 4 is Decamerion Richardson, and my initial expectation when the Raiders drafted him was he was really just going to be a long, athletic, lanky corner that you could use for special teams. He has been working a little bit behind Jakorian Bennett and has shown some some signs of a rookie. If he can be athletic and you just allow him to be athletic, he doesn't have to think, he can go out there and he can do his thing. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of Jakorian Bennett, where there's a lot more thinking and just instead of going out there and reacting. If he goes up against a tactical route runner, somebody who's just can carve him up with a route, maybe not the best athlete, that's where he struggles. But I kind of want to see how he handles going up against somebody like that in a preseason game. At number 3, I'm going to go with Byron Young here at defensive tackle. Was drafted in the 3rd round last season. Somebody that I have heard is starting to figure it out. Well, here's an opportunity to prove it to me and to the entire nation how much he's actually truly figuring it out, because if you're only going to keep a certain amount of DTs, and if a guy like Marquand McCall is truly listed over somebody like Matthew Butler, and if Tyree Wilson is going to get these reps, if Byron wants to make a shot, he's got to do it this season. Another player that needs to have a bounce-back year, second-year guy, Jakorian Bennett, and I would say he is the no-doubt cornerback 3 as it stands right now, next to Jack Jones, next to Nate Hobbs. And because of that, he's going to get his opportunities out there right away, and he's starting to get some of that confidence back. But can he make plays on the football? Can he avoid getting burnt? Because sometimes, and it's probably one of those things that you deal with when you're a rookie, your entire career, you've been able to play one way because your recovery speed, your athletic ability has been able to get you by. Well, now if you make that same mistake, now you get burned in the NFL. He's got to limit the big plays against him, and if he can just keep people in front of him, bend but don't break, our defense is good where people are eventually going to break. But the number one player that I'm the most excited to see on the defensive side of the football, that's going to be Tyree Wilson. Wilson had a little bit slow of a start to camp, but as it got going, it got better and better and better. This is somebody who's been working a lot with Max Crosby, been working a lot with Christian Wilkins, and there are spurts where you can really, really see it. He needs to be more consistent, and I think that that's one of the reasons why this coaching staff wants him to work with the guys that they're working with so much, but he just needs to be a little bit more consistent, and if he's able to go out there, get it done, make a few big plays, because he's been making some big plays these past few days at practice. Tyree Wilson, that's the guy I want to watch against the Minnesota Vikings. So one more time here are the top 10 players to watch versus the Vikings on the offensive side of the football, and then the top 10 players to watch on the defensive side of the ball. If I missed anybody, if you're like, Mitch, I don't know how you didn't add this guy, or you're way too high on this guy, believe it or not, I think it's one of the cool parts about this show. Reminder, follow me on IG, follow me on Twitter. I'll be posting some live reactions to the preseason game and all season long. And also, we got a lot of news and updates on those social media platforms as well. So from me, from Jeremy Chuggs, we're going to see you guys here in a few hours when the Raiders and Vikings play. Reminder, we're going to be live an hour before kickoff. Make sure you bring your screaming voices. Make sure you guys bring your drinking pants. But most importantly, make sure you bring that Raider Nation heart, because we're going to need it today.